welcome back to another Love Miles music episode. I am coming forward this week as Chris takes his much needed break. There's one question I've often been asked alongside, how did you and Chris meet? What is it like being with a musician? Now, as you all know, there are levels of musicianship. You can be anywhere in the rock and roll, hip hop, rapper level, all the way up there, popular music. You can be with someone who's in like a second tier jazz forum, as I am. And you could be with someone who is an aspiring artist. But today I'm going to talk about my level, and that's being with a jazz musician. So a lot of the questions that I'm answering today, they may not come from a place of someone who has started out with the individual, or they're on the grind and the mission, gaining their traction and their audience, their momentum. However, I still feel like there's a level of pressure because there is an actual career to keep up with. And that's what we're going to talk about today. From jealousy all the way down to love. So you're probably wondering where I'm sitting. I'm sitting downstairs in our house amongst pedal boards and everything else. Because why? I live with a musician. Part of that is always being with someone who's at home all the time. So we'll get into that. Before we do, I need to remind you guys to please hit the notification bell if you haven't already. This allows you to know when we upload, which is Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's get into it. Ha! No, it's not. Okay. This is going to be a very transparent and honest episode. I'm not going to give you the fluff, and I'm not going to just try and make this like a filler episode where you're just getting information. I'm going to give it to you real and raw. It is not glamorous at all. The shows look glamorous. The lights, the band, the wardrobe. It's a lot of hard work. And not just the musician and the artistry, but what goes on behind everything else, the traveling, the home life, all the parts that link a show together. I've been very attentive to how we film and showing that we ride Ubers. We don't have limousine pickups. We fly commercial. We don't fly in jets. We don't sit first class. It's not a glamorous life. It's not like Chris is a Bon Jovi or anything, but there are tiers to musicianship. I think the beautiful part is seeing someone in their purpose, seeing someone who is so talented and able to do what they love every single day. They're still received years later, and it supports their lifestyle. It's their means of income. It's their career, essentially. So if people ask me that, I laugh, because the women especially, they think, oh my God, you must have the best apparel, like a killer wardrobe at home, diamonds, every perfume imaginable, stilettos, handbags. Like, what kind of car do you drive? No, girl, no. It's not, no. It's one of those things where, yeah, you marry for love, and you get the perks of, again, seeing someone who's whole, who's valued, not just by you, but by many globally, and rocking out with them. I've been very fortunate enough to be a part of my husband's business, but I still have my own life. And a lot of people ask, do you support yourself? Or, does your husband support you? Or like, do you just get to shop all day and go to yoga? You guys live in LA. Do you just sit on the beach all day? I do none of those things. I'm not a water baby. I don't like yoga. I despise LA. I'm not, even though I'm from Cali, I'm not a Cali chick. I'm so East Coast and Southern as it gets. I just like all things home, domestic. I'm chill, but I still work. So it's not a glamorous lifestyle. I'm sorry if I disappointed anybody. If you wanted to see the Tom Fords and the Louis Vuittons in this video, it ain't happening. He is home every single day. Chris actually records from home, practices from home, creates from home. Whatever he's doing, he's home. His studio is in home. I think it's just a beautiful overall situation what we share, because I don't want to be distant from my partner. If this were a relationship where my husband were gone all the time, it's not really serving me. It's like, good luck, I guess, like, I actually want to be with my partner. I want to share my life with someone. So I've never looked at my relationship like, no, I shouldn't be there. If I am able, and vice versa, if Chris wants to pour into anything I ask him to do for me, we're reciprocal in that regard. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing where two people can come together and actually not get on each other's nerves, yet just really be appreciative for everything that you have and that my husband's built. So, but yeah, to answer your question, he is always at the house. All the creative arts at the house. If a show didn't go well, or perhaps Chris feels like, you know what, I could have played better, or I didn't really get it off with this musician in my band tonight, or it just didn't come across as I wanted it to, that makes me feel a little discouraged, where I feel like, okay, authentically and genuinely, how am I going to cheer him up and make this better, make this right? Because I know, I can see it. I'm so trained at this point where I view the shows differently than an audience member. I understand Chris's feelings, his expressions. I can even see in his movements, his coordination, when he's comfortable, when he's uncomfortable. I hear the sounds. I'm so trained. Like, me viewing a show, the way you view a show is totally different. I love sitting in the back so that I can just kind of review the whole scene and just kind of see what gets the audience going, what they didn't like. Are they talking? Is it dishes just clattering? And are they just, in their own zone? Or are they really paying attention to the music? Are they taking it in? Are they in the experience? So those are the things that can slightly put a strain on things. If your partner doesn't feel good, you don't feel good, right? It's, you want to step in and make it better, make it right. But from a dramatic point of view, which the question's really coming from, I think Chris has been doing this for so long that he always remembers that he's a husband first and an artist second. And I love that about him, because that sort of thing has to be learned over time in most cases. Whereas with Chris, it's like, you know what? It ain't that serious. I've kind of met Chris in his fourth quarter, I should say. He's going to kill me for saying that. But, that's the beautiful part in this, is that you don't have to worry so much about knocking doors down and, constantly, repetitively doing things and sacrificing your relationship and having arguments or these interferences coming at you day in and day out. You kind of get to sit back at this point and just say, whatever, I've lived it, I've done it, and now we have our thing. So yeah. No, it's a normal job anyway. Like, is that like construction, a sales guy? No. I love the fact that I'm with somebody who really enjoys doing what they love to do. This is who he is. This is who I married, and that's what attracted me. All right, so we are moving into another subcategory of jealousy in relationships. The juice, nice and messy. I've seen it a time or two. I vividly remember in our first year when we were dating, we were in Laguna Beach, and there were a group of women really just getting it off. If I were at a Tank concert, for all the R&B lovers, if I were at an Usher concert, since he's a bigger artist, I'm gonna have a good time. I think there's this fantasy, and that's why I started with the question, is it glamorous? There's this fantasy that because you're popular, you're gonna take me away from my reality. But we go to concerts to have a good time. We order drinks. They call them spirits. We embody the spirit and we get loose. We're having a good time. We are there to escape our reality. If we weren't trying to be entertained, cool. I mean, I could stay at home. If I see a woman or women, girlfriends, whatever, dancing on the side of the stage, have a good time. I'm at a show, and if there's a woman who's trying to sit there so composed, like, oh my God, do you see me? Oh my God, it's the Chris ring. Oh, I do see them, and it's like, it's so cute to me. I'm so glad I don't have to be that girl anymore. I've got him, girl. My husband doesn't disrespect me. He will continue just playing the whole stage. He's not playing too much into their energy, trying to strum the guitar in front of him, like, girl, I'll take you home and all that. Yeah, he's not disrespecting me like that. And if he did, we'd have that conversation. I appreciate the fact that these people have paid their hard-earned money and that they support the music. So all is love. I hope I never have to. I fortunately have a husband who's mature, who's wise, and who understands his blessing. I understand mine, and I hope we stay deep rooted in our connection. It's never an issue that you necessarily have with your partner. Sometimes it's other people you don't trust. God, I'm trying not to let the black come out of me. I wish they would. No, just don't. He respects me. He's always made me a part of his sets and the music, as we think was inspired by me. And I'm so honored. I love the song Chocolate Shake. I'm so elated to know that my husband feels the way that he feels about me. A lot of wives sit back and they want that adoration so bad, but they deal with a man who either doesn't wear their wedding ring or who's out on the road, and they long for that sort of adoration or that faithfulness, that honesty. And my husband gives that to me. And I think he knows how important it is for us to stay connected in every lane. It's who we are as a couple. We've always talked about that that's the kind of couple that we would be. No matter what we're doing, we're for each other first. With him, he told me, I actually need you to be connected to me. I need you to let me know your feelings and to allow me to feel embraced and to be a part of my world. I actually willingly want to be a part of his life. So it's amazing. I think the question says it for itself. He's always a husband first, and musicianship has definitely come second. And even in our domestic life, he puts the guitar down for me. We were at a coffee date today, and I'm like, I just want more time with you. And he's like, let's stay. And I did. I just needed to be with him. So I'm grateful for that. If we haven't had a dose of each other, I know this just sounds so newlywed and gross and cliche and gooey, but if we haven't had a dose of each other, it's like, you know what? Forget this. Where's my partner? It's not all things sex and love either. I need to be refilled, and I need my partner. That's the one thing that keeps me going, and that's the one thing that makes me feel good. And we always say that. And I know if Chris were right here, he would attest to that. So, no. Recently, I got a question via Facebook Messenger. He's like, does he practice all the time? You're so lucky you get to be there. Surprisingly, I don't get to hear the music. I don't. I'm like, how are you this talented and you don't even practice every day? I guess he's been doing it so long that it's second nature. If you follow Love Miles of Music, Chris had a surgery earlier this year. He had to take 3 months off. How do you pick up the guitar nearly 4 months later and just start notes after note after note and does not miss? Anyone test Chris on guitar, it's over. He is like Michael Jordan when it comes to guitar. It's incredible. But does he practice all the time? No, he does not. When Chris has a show, he'll begin practicing about 14 days, maybe 10 if he gets really, really close. Yeah, 10 to 14 days before a show. Yep. And it's usually in the afternoons. I might just be coming in from a walk or whatever. And God, it's so beautiful. One day it was so funny. He was playing and I was so happy to hear him play again because, like I said, it had been months. And I walked in and I was like, yes. And I mean, I was just running around. I love those moments. I cherish everything, all the notes, everything. Yes, that has happened a time or two. I could ask a question and he's gonna kill me. I know he's gonna kill me. He's gonna say, "What? I never knew this." I'll ask a question. We'll be like in mid conversation, or he's got his guitar. Just he's getting ready to go, and to me, it's like, okay, I know you're going in your office to practice for one, but then it turns into, oh yeah, did you da 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 da, and and I'm like, I gotta be honest about that one. Yeah, it can. There have been times where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go over here. Yeah, you do that. Not about me, but he's been inspired oftentimes by the music I listen to. I listen to a lot of music, but I'm heavy on the soul music, like Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder, LTD, Luther Vandross. Like, I love good soul music. And I think a lot of those sounds, as they flow through our home, kind of gets to Chris, like, I like that groove right there. I've heard the song before, but I never caught that, so he's told me, yeah, I've been inspired by the music you listen to. I think in the beginning, like the sensuality, the love, the lust, all of it was like, I got something to say. Of all his albums, As We Think will always be a personal one for me because that's the very first album he created after we got together, after we got married. Interestingly, Chris and I like it very quiet in the car. To be such a musical household, you think we'd be jamming everything, but we like it quiet in the car. We always have it on SXM, primarily to see who else is out, what else is spinning in rotation, like, what's going on with jazz radio. If we're on a long road trip, we listen to podcasts. Sometimes I'll turn on, again, some of my soul music, or I'll just, let the top 100 play. Chris is not really into listening to a lot of music unless it's by the greats. Like, occasionally he will turn on some Steely Dan. The other night he put on some Stan Getz, introduced me to him for the first time. I know, I'm awful. Pat Metheny. He listens to a lot of classics. His ear is different. We're at a concert. He's doing this. Yeah. And then I see him. It's like something's ticking because he's doing counts or something. And the whole thing is like another experience within an experience. But Chris is always listening with a different ear, like a musician's ear. It's like, oh, I like that note, or I like the way he composed that. I like that structure, and it's like he's sitting there and he's listening intently from a professional's ear. And that's so incredible to me. I'm like fangirling in the moment, like, teach me. I want to, like, what do you take from this? Like, what do you hear? Playlists? No, we don't do all that. But concerts, the greats, all of those things we do. I do. And in those moments, I go back to a lot of 90s music, CeCe Peniston, Jeanne. I love 90s music. There was something about the 90s just coming up in that era. I know you guys are probably like, what? Coming up in that era, it was just a sweet innocence about it. Music was really changing. The 70s had disco, and then of course the 80s, that's when Whitney and Michael emerged and just really transformed music. But the 90s, it was just something sweet and innocent about the 90s, and I love going back to 90s music. So yeah, jazz, because I'm in this format now with my husband so much, at shows, festivals, paying so much close attention to music in general. It's like, okay, what else is there? Who are some artists I like, who I absolutely admire? If you don't know, I'm obsessed with Whitney Houston. I think she's just all things incredible. She's the beginning and the end for me. I really, really, yes, I love soul and I love the greats, but I love pop music too. I am a huge Justin Bieber fan. I am a believer. I love Nickelback. I know you guys are probably like, what? Yeah, I love Nickelback. I love Maroon 5, Adam Levine. I like some Ariana Grande. Yeah, but I'm really an old soul. I'm an old soul. I love soul music. You pull out some Isley, some Otis Redding, God, just all the greats. That's, yeah. In a way, I did, but in a lot of other ways, I didn't. I wasn't prepared for the work. I didn't know how intense it could get. In terms of being with a musician, that's the topic of this discussion. I did not know how much work would be involved. The creator's mindset, which is constantly feels like a creative, their mind is always on. And most people, they go to work, they have a routine life. You come home, you make dinner, you might work out, then you get on yourself and you watch TV and you just chill, you zone out. But with creatives, it's like clockwork. I mean, there's no end. It just boom, 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 boom. It's almost like shuffling the deck. It's a cycle. It's funny because when Chris was working on his songbook today, I heard the metronome, and that's a good analogy for a creative's brain. It's like there's no getting off. They have to stay on this carousel. And I'm just like, you have done so much in this lifetime that's like equal to, 5 people, collectively. It would have taken that many people to do everything you've done, maybe even more. And Chris is never done. I mean, he will work until like his eyes are blistering red right now from working on this songbook. His hands are hurting because he's been working so hard. He's just always working. Like his brain doesn't stop. I'm just like, ooh. I didn't know I was signing up for that. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, that is what makes these people, the Beyoncés, the Michael Jacksons, the Chris Standrings, and I'd say I put him in that category because touch my husband in guitar and you will not see daylight. He's dangerous. Okay, guys, so we have reached our last 2 final questions, and before we sign off, I just want to thank all of you guys for rocking out with Chris and I on Love Miles Music. It's been an incredible ride. I like to see the numbers, what you guys like, what you don't like, what you want to see less of, what you want to see more of. It seems like you guys want to see more of our travels and the tour life. And you guys also like a lot of the musicians coming on doing their interviews. So we will continue doing more of that. But if you will comment below and let us know what you want to see, what wasn't so great. Maybe you want to see more of Chris, less of me. I don't know, but I'd love to know. So leave a comment below, let us know, and thank you so much. You really have to come in with a deep understanding that when you are with someone and this is what their passion is, you cannot alter that experience any which way. You have got to navigate responsibly. You have to understand the dynamics first, the individual, and you also need to understand how it could impact you. Maybe you have children that you're coming into the relationship with. You need to assess all of those factors. You're not dealing with everyday life. You're dealing with a topsy-turvy schedule. You're dealing with somebody who's constantly, like I said, they're on. You're figuring out how to balance your life with somebody who is actually perhaps recording all the time or in the studio all the time or on the road all the time. Also, someone who's popular, they're going to get massive attention. Can you handle that? You can either appreciate it, nurture it, learn from it, really look at your life, what you want in your life, whether it's a quiet life, a simple life, whether you want to travel, whether you don't want to work, you do want to work, if you want kids, you have to think of a consequence for every single turn and ask yourself, am I really ready to do this? Because it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's fun. It's fun. It's definitely a roller coaster. It's worth it if you want it. It's worth it if you can appreciate a talent and all that comes with their ability. It's worth it if you respect the mastery, the artistry, the person, the gift, the level, whatever level that is that God offers them. Whether it's up here, down here, right here, over there, whatever. You have to really, really appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely been worth it for me. I married my best friend. We have good and bad days like everyone else. Chris is a normal, regular person, but in a way, he isn't. He's extraterrestrial. His brain is different. Is it worth it? Yes. I want to thank you guys again. I'm Erica Nichole Standring, and if you have not already followed us over on Instagram, our Instagram is christianerica.com. We hope that you will continue to rock out with Love Miles music, and we will see you guys in our next episode. You guys have a fabulous, fabulous summer, and peace and love. Thanks. Bye, guys.